All right, today we're going to talk about bread. Yep, simple, everyday bread. But what if I told you there's a wild, kind of counterintuitive secret about it? A secret that could totally transform your daily energy levels. Seriously.
You know that feeling, right? That awful afternoon slump where you're just sluggish, you've got brain fog, and it hits you like a ton of bricks right after your morning toast. It's such a common thing, but get this. What if the solution has been sitting in your freezer this whole time?
So here's the crazy part. The problem isn't really the bread. It's the temperature. I know, that sounds bizarre, right? But just stick with me here, because the science behind this is actually really, really cool.
Okay, so first things first, let's dig into what I'm calling the fresh bread problem. We gotta understand why that beautiful, warm, fresh slice of bread is the very thing that leads to that dreaded sugar spike and the inevitable crash that follows.
It really all boils down to one thing: starch. Fresh white bread specifically is just loaded with these really simple starch molecules. The best way to think about them is like tiny, ready-to-go sugar packets. Your body just sees them and goes, "Oh, great," and breaks them down and absorbs them like instantly.
And because they're so incredibly easy for your body to digest, all that sugar hits your bloodstream at once, and bam, you get this massive, super fast spike in your blood sugar. It's kind of like a rocket launch for your energy for a minute.
But, well, we all know the rule. What goes up must come down. And that huge spike, it's pretty much always followed by an equally huge crash. Your body just floods your system with insulin to deal with all that sugar, and suddenly you're left feeling exhausted, sluggish, and foggy. Sound familiar at all?
Okay, but here's the really good news. There's a super simple frozen secret that just completely flips the script on this whole thing. We're talking about a genuine transformation here, one that can basically turn your regular old bread into something of a superfood.
And this is the central idea right here. The solution is not to stop eating bread. It's not about feeling guilty about your toast. It's about fundamentally changing it, using a tool that I guarantee you already have in your kitchen. So here's the trick, the whole secret. Just freezing bread. That simple act physically changes its molecular structure. The cold makes those easy-to-digest little starch molecules huddle up, link together, and form this new, much tougher structure. And this is where we get into the really cool science behind the magic. It's time to meet the hero of this whole story, something called resistant starch. And trust me, it changes everything.
So what in the world is resistant starch? Well, it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's a type of starch that resists digestion, at least in your small intestine. So instead of turning into sugar right away, it travels way further down your digestive tract, and it starts to act a lot more like a healthy dietary fiber.
I mean, the difference here is night and day. On one side, you have regular starch, which causes those crazy blood sugar spikes. On the other, you've got resistant starch, which does the complete opposite. It helps flatten out those spikes, and it has this incredible side hustle. It feeds the good bacteria down in your gut.
So the benefits here are just huge, right? First, it processes way more slowly, so you completely avoid that blood sugar roller coaster. And second, by feeding your good gut bacteria, you're literally improving your digestive health from the inside out. It's a total win-win situation.
All right, so you're probably thinking, how do I actually do this? Let's get right to the practical stuff. Think of this as your new, super simple 3-step ritual for way healthier toast.
Honestly, this could not be easier. Step 1, if your bread is fresh, just let it cool down all the way. Step 2, slice it up, wrap it carefully in a freezer bag, and stick it in the freezer. And step 3, this is the most important part. Toast it directly from frozen. Do not thaw it first.
And hang on, there's one last little piece of magic here. That final step, toasting the bread while it's still frozen, that actually adds another layer to this transformation. The combo of freezing and then toasting makes that starch even more resistant. So you're basically doubling down on all the good stuff.
So this one simple trick can completely change how we think about a basic food like bread. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other hidden superfoods are just sitting in our freezers right now, waiting for us to figure out the secret?